I'm Hai and welcome to this week's video, Lines and Brushstrokes. I'm going to talk about the emotional quality of lines and how they relate to lines and brushstrokes. I mean, this is so exciting to know. Even though you don't constantly think about it, there are so many artistic possibilities with them. We hear it all the time, make the brushstrokes follow the form. What I'm going to do is giving you practical and artistic advice here. So let's start with the quality of lines and brushstrokes. Especially in figurative drawing, we need to consider the quality of the line, be it the hair, the skin or the clothing. How we treat the line determines how the drawing will look like. We can treat them soft and hard, full, flat, opaque, transparent, fast and slow. And this is very apparent in the hair. This is a drawing by Sedov. And we can see the weightlessness of the hair. The lines are really soft and light. If I would draw on it, we could see that he draws really light. And the details of the hair is really there. So this is just one example, and a good analogy for the speed of lines, how fast or slow the line is, are racing tracks. I mean really, drawing is like racing. On a racing path we can follow the lines and notice that curves need to be drawn slower and straight lines can be drawn faster. And even if I trace it, I need to be so slow with my drawing. The subtleties of the face are endless. So remember, if you draw subtle curves, you need to be really slow. And this has something to do with the variety of line. The more variety you have, the more curves and details there are. Let's look at the racing track very fast. So I'm drawing the curve now. And you see I'm going really slow in the curves. And after the curve, we can really accelerate the line. If I would draw this now, like a real drawing, could accelerate it and go on with that. And if you are really good, you can draw these lines like an artist. So when commencing a drawing, really think about what quality of form you find so interesting and imagine the drawing before you even draw. And remember, from all the portraits and figures you draw, every single one is different. And this is a very special and great condition to have. And I might make a study demonstration and I might make a drawing demonstration for you later, but not now. Maybe in a later video. But let's look at lines from a practical standpoint now. I've listed a few techniques here to express the form. And the first is really drawing across the form. When you draw across the form, you can show the lights and shades the best way. It is advisable to follow the light direction. For example, if the light's coming from the right top, you may want to draw the lines following the light rays. And that is a widely used technique. You can see it in almost all of Zorn's drawings. So here we have a painting, but actually, because line drawing is really the same as making marks with a brush. So what you can see here, and I'm just drawing in slightly, is that Zorn has painted the tones in a really crossing manner. And he's really drawing across the form. And that is a technique you can also see in a drawing by Gustav Klimt. Like all these strokes can be used in a painting or in a drawing. Now let's look at round forms. Drawing round forms show the fullness of the form. that is also used in foreshortening. So if you have a leg, for example, that is facing away, you can draw these lines to show that the leg is foreshortened. And maybe you can show the muscles and the belly, which is foreshortened. And this is really a good way to show the form. You can also draw down the forms. The forms will look harder and rougher. So down the forms, and we'll show it like this. And it is not like this, which shows the roundness, but just long lines down the forms. When you paint and draw in every direction like this, then you can show the atmosphere. And here is a good drawing by Zorn, where he really shows that there is space between these people. And he's really showing the dark atmosphere here by using this very scratchy look. When you cross the lines, you can arrive at a very opaque drawing. And I'm going to show you this in a painting here, also by Zorn. Zorn is really the best painter if it is about brush strokes. So just look at his drawings and paintings and you will learn all about marks and brush strokes. So here we can see that he paints really opaque in these areas. You can feel the fleshiness. And you can just try to paint these crosses. Thickness. Thickness controls the gradation. Like I can paint really thin or thick. So I can arrive at a gradation like this. Distance. The closer the lines are, the more depth they convey. These are further away, these are closer. And we can show form with them. Like we know here the sphere is very deep. It recedes back into space. And when I make them farther apart, we can know that they are closer to us. And this can be seen also in a drawing by Zorn, especially in the arms. Like here we can see the depth are really close. And here it gets farther apart until you don't even draw these lines anymore. And here the lines are very far apart. And that is what distance is. It is very important for drawing and for conveying forms. So now let's look at a painting by Zorn again. Here we have a lot of these principles combined and used in the form of brush strokes. You can see that the parallel shading is broken by strongly marked forms. We can see that he uses parallel shading in this area. And follows the form here at the edges. Here he uses some techniques where he paints across the form. Here he paints across the form, combined with some of the forms along. And please don't have shame in painting over paintings by masters, because it is just a way to learn. Here we have this very opaque skin that we might want to paint like this. This is clearly just the quality of the lines of the hair that we can see, look how much attention he pays to the hair. It is blocky, but it really has a quality in and of itself. The curves are very delicate. And we can see here that he made the cloth very rigid by drawing down the form. And you can really feel that the material is different. It's very hard, and the edges are very hard. You can see the contrast now between the rigid clothing and the skin. And this is achieved by the quality of line. Here we have this rigid clothing. The background really has this atmosphere. So this is just large brush strokes. Here we have some kind of direction. I think it is to lead the viewer in this direction. And we have the very rigid chair. The background that is really like some kind of atmosphere in here. Yeah, and the lines in the background are really soft. You can feel the light shining in and giving this really soft atmosphere. Here we have the back, following the form. And you can look at a lot of paintings and look at and notice these things. And maybe you can apply it to your own painting so that your painting will look more painterly, like you probably want it to be, because everyone wants it to look like an oil painting somehow. And sometimes it's not about the brush, but also about the brush strokes. Alright, thank you for paying attention to this study. And if you can, pick up some photos or master paintings and practice that. It will greatly help you when you tackle paintings that are more expressive with brush strokes. And now I have a question for you. Which artist's drawings do you like the most? Let me know below in the comments, and if you like the videos, please like and subscribe to our channel. Feel free to share our videos, and if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. Videos are released every Wednesday. See you soon.